The EU-Canada Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement, CETA, the bulk of which, as the Prime Minister said, comes into effect this week, has significant potential to boost transatlantic prosperity and the UK economy, eliminating 98% of Canadian import duties and massively increasing the opportunities for British exporters. And I'm pleased that we have agreed today that CETA should be swiftly transitioned to form a new bilateral arrangement between the UK and Canada after Brexit. The UK government is driven from the front, and we all have the same destination in our sights, and that is getting a good deal for Brexit with the European Union. That's a good trade deal, but also a good ongoing relationship in relation to other matters like security. And I've spoken in the past of the deep and special partnership that we want to build with the European Union. We want to ensure that for businesses and individuals, there's a smooth change over when Britain leaves, when the United Kingdom leaves the European Union, as possible. We want to see as little disruption to economies and to people's lives. And that's why we believe it makes sense to take the trade agreements which the UK is part of, it's part of the European Union, with Canada, and say that that is the basis at that point at which we leave for a bilateral relationship with the UK and Canada.
The good quality jobs that come directly from the aerospace industry in Canada, in Northern Ireland, are important to both of us and important to Canadians and people around the world. We will continue to stand up for jobs and stand up for the excellent airplane that is the Bombardier C-Series aircraft. The actions that Boeing has taken is very much in their narrow economic interest to harm a potential competitor, and quite frankly is not in keeping with the kind of openness to trade that we know benefits citizens in all countries around the world. We are going to continue to work together and impress upon the American administration, including President Trump himself, how important it is to defend Canadian jobs and the impact of the positive innovations related to the C-Series aircraft. We will continue to stand up strongly in defense of Canadian jobs against unwarranted actions by Boeing.
Ollie Robbins, your so-called Sherpa, will no longer be running the Department of Exiting the European Union. Isn't that a sign that you got this wrong in the first place, and frankly the negotiating structure has been a bit of a shambles?
No, not at all. What it is a sign of is that the negotiations are getting into a more detailed and more intense phase. And as a result of that, I think it's right that Ollie Robbins concentrates on that, and obviously a different structure will be put in place, different answer will be put in place in terms of the running or the management of the Department for Exiting the European Union and the permanent secretaryship there.